Miss Michelle told me I could be in charge of making our introduction. So here it is. My name is Artie, and here is our video about books about dragons featuring Rise of the Earth Dragon by Tracy West, How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell, and Wings of Fire, the Dragonette Prophecy by Tweed T. Sutherland. You guys looking for something really exciting to read over winter break? Maybe you need a way to escape the everyday stress of school? Well, my friend and I have got some seriously cool dragon books for you. Our first one that we're going to talk about is called Rise of the Earth Dragon by Tracy West. And this book is all about a young boy named Drake who is taken away from his home and he's asked to become a dragon master. Well, our friend Drake doesn't even really believe in dragons, you guys. He's not too sure that they even exist. So when he's taken away from his home by a knight to live in the king's palace, nobody else in the kingdom knows that these dragons exist either. Drake is given a dragon stone and he is asked to bond with a special dragon whom he names Worm. Worm? Yeah, Worm. He names his dragon Worm. Worm is a crazy name. Why would he name him that? Should we tell them a little bit about your name, buddy, and see if that will make you feel a bit better? I was named after the greatest king of England, Arthur Pendragon. I prefer Artie for short. Yeah, you do have a better name, Arthur. Aren't you so glad that I didn't name you Worm? Thank you. You're welcome. So, Worm is an earth dragon. That's why the book is called Rise of the Earth Dragon and not some other kind of a dragon. And there are a couple of different kinds of dragons underneath of the mountain where the king lives in the dungeons. So, our friend Drake has a few friends, and their dragons' names are Vulcan, Khepri, and Shu. And Vulcan is kind of a fire dragon. He can breathe fire. Oh, that would be so cool. I can't breathe fire. I know, but it does keep our house standing up a lot better, huh, buddy? Yeah, it does. So, we got a fire-breathing dragon, Shu is a water dragon, and Khepri can make rainbows, but it's not really clear to Drake what Worm's special power is. He and Worm are just kind of feeling like, oh man, we can't really do anything all that cool. So Drake has to really work on making sure that he can build a good friendship with Worm, just like how you guys build with your friends or your siblings or maybe even your dog, so that he can make sure that Worm is feeling safe and happy. That's nice. At least it seems like they like each other. Drake and Worm form a special bond, and we do find out that Worm has got some powers, but I think it's just like in every other book. What do we not give anyone? Tell them what we don't give them. Spoilers! Yep, we can't tell you guys what the very end of the book is going to be, but trust us when we say that Drake and Worm are on a special journey. And if you really like this book, just like all the other books in this book talk, is the first in a series. So if you think that Worm is a great, great dragon, then you guys can even read past and hear about his friends. This one is really geared for you first and second graders. Anyone would like it, but if you guys are looking for something cool to read, give Rise of the Earth Dragon by Tracy West a try. Michelle, what are you wearing? It's a Viking helmet. Already remember? We talked about this, about how our next dragon book is kind of similar to our last one, but it's Viking. So our next book that we were really excited about that Artie and I read is How to Train Your Dragon by Hiccup Horrendous Haddock III, as told to Cressida Cowell. So if any of you guys have seen the movie How to Train Your Dragon, this is the book that is where that movie came from. And in this book, our main character, Hiccup, needs to be able to bond with a dragon, kind of like how Drake did in our last book, but he needs to be able to make sure that that dragon listens to him so that they can pass initiation together. So Drake's dad, Stoic the Vast, is the chief of their tribe, which means that Hiccup is going to be able to become in charge of their tribe one day as well. But first, he and his dragon have to show that they're brave and honorable enough that they're going to be good enough Vikings. So he goes into this cave with all the other guys who were supposed to be initiated with him, poor Hiccup, and they're all supposed to get a dragon. I think a couple of them are a little bit nervous, and something goes wrong. where they're right at the end and everyone has to get out of the cave, and Hiccup kind of grabs a dragon right at the end and is just like, got one for me, got one for my friend, we're good. And he gets this dragon, and this dragon's name is Toothless. This is what Hiccup calls it. I can see you looking at me again. Already, what's your question? Toothless! What kind of a dragon has no teeth? Why are these dragons named something so crazy? Do you need to smile and show your teeth to make it better so that everyone can know that not all dragons have no teeth? Those are some good chompers, Artie. Thank you. Yeah, but this dragon's name is still really is Toothless, even though you have beautiful teeth. And Hiccup has to find a way to work with Toothless. So what the previous dragon training had been is that if you just scream really loud at your dragon has to listen to you. Do you think that worked, Artie? No! Yeah, so Hiccup is trying a new thing. He's going to learn Dragonese and try to be really nice to Toothless and make sure that they can be friends, just like how Drake and Worm are friends. And he has to see if this is going to work any better for him. But Toothless and Hiccup run into a couple of different obstacles that may or may not lead to them not becoming initiated as Vikings. So the two of them together have to kind of figure out a way to work it out and to defeat something that is actually really kind of scary and might threaten their tribe even worse than an initiation. That'd be kind of terrible, huh? If we had to battle something. Yeah, it could be fun though, like in a book. It could be fun though, like in a book. Do you want to tell them how we read this book, Artie? Yeah, sure. So we listened to this book. We did. We listened to it on audiobook. So you guys can even get books on CD if you're not feeling like you want to read. Maybe you just want to like kind of sit down and color, but you want to still be hearing your story. Right. So we had Rise of the Earth Dragon ready for our first and second graders, and then our How to Train Your Dragon book would be a great one for our second through fourth graders. This one is for you guys who are older, elementary school, maybe fourth and fifth. So this book is called Wings of Fire, The Dragonette Prophecy by Twee T. Sutherland. This book is about a whole bunch of dragons, and they're all pretty cool. They all have different sorts of powers. They do crazy cool things. So in this story, what's happening is that we've got these three queens, and these three dragon queens are causing this huge, huge dragon war, and it's terrible. So, Wings of Fire, the Dragonette Prophecy, we've got 5 little baby dragons, and they grow up a little bit before the book starts. But there's a prophecy out here that these dragonettes, which is the kid dragons, there's going to be 5, will save the day one day from this huge, terrible war that's been going on. And there are supposed to be one dragon of a couple of different tribes, but there's an accident with one of the dragons right at the beginning with the egg, and the egg breaks. And so they have to grab another dragon from another tribe who is not in the prophecy, and then the grown-up dragons have one dragon that looks kind of small, and she's not really what they thought she was going to be. And so these dragons have been living under this mountain, training with these grown-up dragons, and they are so sick to death of taking all of these orders from them that they're like, well, we're going to escape. And so now our dragons, and this dragon on the front, this is Clay, he's our main dragon, but now our dragons have got these problems where they're just, what are they going to do? I mean, they've escaped, but now they're in trouble because they've met up with an evil queen. There's evil queens everywhere, and they have to make sure that the rest of the dragon kind believes that they can save the dragons from this terrible, terrible fate. And we don't even know how that's going to go at the end, because just like the other 2 books, this one's the first in a series, and there's a whole bunch more that come after it. So if you like this one, you can keep right on reading. We can definitely tell all the students a great way to get how many books, Artie? Do you remember they can check out? 10 books. Do you guys know how you can check out just your 10 books? Any of these books? You can do it with what? Tell them. Your student number. Yes. So kids, if you use your CMS student ID, and a couple of the charter schools and private schools in our area are starting to get these, they're one access number, and that stands for one number equals access. So it's one number equals ONE, the word one, access. And that means that you can use that number. You can use it online with our digital resources at Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. So if you're trying to get this book through NC Kids, you can use it. If you come inside of a branch, you can check out any of those 3 books that we talked about, and we've got the rest of the series, and that will give you guys something really, really, really great to do while you are on your winter holiday. So if you guys need something to do, take your one access number, take it to your local library, and check out one of these amazing dragon books. I think that's probably all that we have to tell him, isn't it, Artie? Because we don't want to give him any spoilers, so we can't say anything more about the books. So what do we say now that we're done? We say bye! Bye! Thanks for listening, guys.